You are looking at the most banned toy in America. But before we reveal it, let's take a look at some other toys that were also banned. Number 10. The evening news. During the Cold War, children could play with this toy, which was modeled after Walter Cronkite, the famous news anchor of the CBS Evening News. It was made by Ideal Toy Company and marketed towards children ages 3 and up. Kids could choose between two different versions of the doll, one dressed in a business suit and the other dressed in a bathrobe. Although it wasn't banned because it was a bad toy or an unsafe toy, it was pulled from shelves due to the political climate at the time, with the US and the Soviet Union going back and forth on who was more powerful. The last thing Americans wanted was for their children to be playing with a toy version of a Soviet leader. No. 9. Mickey 1738. Mickey 1738 was a doll that was made to look like Mickey Mouse, but with a very disturbing twist. Instead of having a cute face, this doll had Mickey's face from the Steamboat Willie cartoon, which was much more sinister looking. But that wasn't the only disturbing thing about this toy. Its limbs were designed to be extra flexible so that it could pose in more ways than other dolls. This was seen as a bit creepy by parents who were already nervous about the newer, more realistic dolls that were starting to hit the market. To make things worse, the doll's eyes glowed in the dark. So not only did it move like a human, but it also had glowing eyes. The doll was never officially banned, but it was definitely a commercial failure. Number 8. Murdoch Yuck. Yuck was a doll made to look like a dirty old man. It had bulging eyes, a big nose and buck teeth. He wore a raincoat and carried an umbrella with the slogan "Clean up your act." In 1972, the toy was pulled from shelves because it was deemed too ugly. Ironically, this doll is now considered to be a collector's item and can fetch thousands of dollars online. Number 7. Barbie. Barbie has been a staple in many American households since she first hit the scene in the 60s. But this iconic doll almost didn't make it to store shelves. When Mattel executives first presented the doll to the public, it was met with harsh criticism. Many people felt that Barbie's body type was too revealing and that she promoted unrealistic beauty standards. Although the doll was allowed to go on sale, it was only because the president of Mattel, at the time Elliot Handler, convinced the public that Barbie's figure was actually a reflection of the average teenage girl at the time. Number 6. The Easy Bake Oven. The Easy Bake Oven was a toy that allowed kids to play house and bake their own delicious-smelling treats. It was a huge hit when it was first released in 1963, but just 3 years later, it was pulled from shelves because it posed a serious risk to children. There were several cases of children getting their fingers and their hair caught in the oven's mechanical parts. Although the toy was eventually redesigned to be safer, it still remains on the list of America's most banned toys. No. 5. Chatty Cathy. Chatty Cathy was a doll that could talk. She would respond to children with phrases like "Let us have tea party" and "My dolly has a sore throat." But these phrases were a bit creepy considering the doll's head would move realistically while she spoke. The doll was eventually banned in 1965 due to a growing fear of dolls that could mimic human behavior. No. 4. The Volkswagen Beetle. The Volkswagen Beetle was a toy car that was released in 1952. It was meant to be a fun way for kids to emulate their favorite European car. However, the toy was soon banned because it was seen as un-American. With the US and Germany still recovering from World War II, the US wasn't exactly thrilled about children playing with German-made toys. Number 3. The Electric Football Game. The electric football game was a popular toy in the 1950s and 60s. It was a game that involved two players trying to get a ball into each other's end zone while avoiding being tackled. But this game was soon banned because it was dangerous. The tackling mechanism was designed to flip the players over, which could cause them to break their necks. No. 2. The Lawn Dart Game. The lawn dart game was a popular outdoor activity for families during the 70s and 80s. It involved two teams trying to throw darts at a raised platform while avoiding hitting each other. But this game was soon banned because it was dangerous. There were several cases of people being seriously injured or even killed by lawn darts. And no. 1. The Super Soaker. The Super Soaker was a water gun that was released in 1989. It was one of the best-selling toys of all time, but this toy was soon banned because it was too powerful. The Super Soaker could shoot water at such a high velocity that it could cause serious injury. One boy even went blind after being shot in the eye with water. Which of these banned toys did you think was the most ridiculous? Let us know in the comments section down below. And as always, thanks for watching.